I paused my Bondi rescue for this. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Woo! Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Between Paperback Worlds, also known as Karen, and I'm here for the May wrap up. So I wanted to try something different this time where I go from least liked to most liked. I've seen this done by Jordan Reads and Riley Reads, so I wanted to try it today. But we're first going to start off with the books that I DNF'd, which means I also DNF'd series. So let's start there. There are 3 books that I DNF'd, which included DNFing 2 series. So the first book I DNF'd was Linger by Maggie Stiefvater. I read The Raven Cycle and I read book 1 and I really enjoyed book 1, Shiver. I got it from the library. I continued with the series and I just felt like Shiver should have been a standalone. It should have been a one-off. So I did not see the point of this one, and because of that I just DNF'd it. And that also means that I didn't read Forever, which is book 3, or Sinner, which is book 4. So because of that, I have DNF'd the series, but I also DNF'd book 2. Next, I DNF'd book 3 in the series, which is The One Left Behind by Blue Sapphire. I borrowed these books, which I'm very happy I did because I wouldn't have wanted to buy them. But I DNF'd book 3 because after even book 2, I feel like I should have DNF'd, but it was just getting too convoluted and I was confused. There were so many characters. I wasn't into it. So because I DNF'd book 3, I didn't even start book 4, but I DNF'd the entire series. I read books 1 and 2 because you'll see them in the rest of this video, to be honest. But yeah, the last book I DNF'd, which isn't a part of a series, or I think it is actually now, but Fool Me Once by Ashley Winstead. I hated this book. I did not enjoy the main character. I thought she was a horrible person in general, and I DNF'd it at 50 pages. So she could have gotten better as a person. And I don't really care, to be honest. I was over it and I was over her. Next, we're going to go to the rereads. I didn't put them higher because they're rereads. They're not new to me. I did Written in Red by Anne Bishop, and I love this book. I love this series. I'm rereading the series, and I already read book 1 and book 2, which is called Murder of Crows. I love these books. I would give them like 4 to a 5 star, 4 or 5 to a 5. It depends on the day, and it just depends on the rereading ability of mine. And I really enjoy this series. I love this series. I plan on reading books 3, 4, and 5, hopefully in June, but I am very happy that we read these. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes of it all. Next one I have is My Best Friend's Wish. This is book 2 in that series that I DNF'd by Blue Sapphire. This one was so confusing, especially towards the end. I felt like there wasn't that much romance in it to begin with. And these are romance mafia books, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I would give this around like a 2.5 to a 3. Next I have Dirty Flowers by Kenya Wright. This book is book 7.5 in the series, and I'm so glad she finally announced that book 9 will be the last book. So I have to read book 8 and book 9, and then I'm done with this series. Look how big this book is, and this is book 7.5. I just feel like this series is very long, and it didn't outstay its welcome, but it outstayed its welcome. It was just so long. It could have been like 5 to 6 books at most, you know? So next I have How to Pack for the End of the World, and I feel like there was good topics in this book, but I just felt like it felt very trying too hard to be teenagers, to be liberal, to be good. It was just trying too hard, I felt like, in my opinion. But it was okay. It was okay. You know? I'll give this around a 3 star. Next, I have Unexpected Lovers. This was book 1 in the Blue Sapphire series. And this one I enjoyed the most. I gave it 4 stars. I liked this one the most. I still felt like they didn't get together quick enough for me. Like, they got together towards the end, and I was just like, and it was just a back and forth for a little bit too long for me. But all in all, it was a good book. Has some mafia twist in it, but I feel like this was nothing compared to book 2 in the sense of all the mafia and nonsense going on. So This was the highest ranked out of all of them, obviously. Next, I had Blood Song by Anthony Ryan, and I gave this one like a 3.5 to a 4. I don't know if I'm going to continue with this series. I don't know. It was like some point in this book, I was so into it. I was like very intensely into it. And some points I was just like, and it's going on and it's going on and it's going on, and I just don't know how to feel about this book in essence. Like, I don't even know if I should unhaul it, should I keep it, should I read the next ones in the series, should I just leave it as a kind of like a standalone by itself. I don't know what I should do with this one, so let me know in the comments, please. Next, I had Fated Breed by Charity Shanae, and this is for My Southern Hearts and Sign Kisses episode 4, which is not out yet. And I enjoyed it. It was a novella book, but I should have read the companion novella first, which was about a different couple, but it introduces the couple from the book that I read, and I should have read that one first, but because it kind of felt like you started in the middle of a relationship already going on, which is no fault to the author. It was all my fault. I didn't read them in the right order, but I enjoyed it. I would give it like a 3.5 to a 4 as well. I had a great time reading it. It was spicy, it was quick, it was about werewolf shifters with the witches and the vampires, so I enjoyed it. Next, I had Sweep of the Heart by Ilona Andrews. This is the final book, but I read them in audio form, but this is the final book in the Innkeeper Chronicles series, which I adore, and I love Ilona Andrews for their urban fantasy. I'm going to start the Kate Daniels series soon, I hope, but I've already read the Hidden Legacy series, and I now have finished the Innkeeper Chronicles series, so I will be moving on to the Kate Daniels series soon, and I'm very excited about that. I would give it around like a 3.5 to a 4 as well. It's a lot of 3.5 to a 4. Next, I had Claiming Gabriel, which is another what? 3.5 to a 4. But it's also another what? Wolf shifted romance. I am a wolf girly more than I am a vampire girly, but I still do love vampires, but I am a wolf girly more. And I enjoyed it. I liked book 1 more, but book 2 was still really good in my opinion. I would say it's closer to a 4-star. So next, I read The Bone King and the Starling. This was a book, I literally just saw the author talking about it on Instagram, so I was like, it's on KU, I'll read it. And it's like less than 200 pages. It's a like Viking-esque type interracial romance book. And I enjoyed it. I'll give it like a 4-star. It was rough at a couple places. Like, it was a little dark in a couple of places, so please look up trigger warnings. But I enjoyed it. I would probably I didn't realize this was the same author who wrote Alpha Omega or Omega, My City Omega, Dark City Omega. It's that author. So if you like her work in those books, you'd probably like this one as well. But it doesn't have any magical elements in it. Next, I read Cloud in the Cornfield. This is actually the first book I read for May, and I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I wish it was a little bit more spooky, a little bit more, but I really enjoyed it. I just also find it weird, the whole premise of this book in general. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I find it weird because wouldn't that mean like most of their kids would also die? I don't know, but I found it interesting and weird, and it gave very much Chainsaw Massacre slasher, which I love. I love a slasher film, so I'm gonna love a slasher book, and I probably will read book 2 in June as well. I give this a 4-star. Next, I read Don't Tell a Soul by Kirsten Miller, and I enjoyed this one a lot. At first, I was like, oh, it's giving, what is that book called? It's giving Hollow, and I did not like that book. I forgot what it's called though. I'll put a picture up. And I didn't like that book, but it was giving that at first. So I was like, ooh, I'm not gonna like this. But I actually liked the way it started to go and how it wrapped up. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. Next, I had All the Feels by Olivia Dade, and I gave this one like a 4.5 star. And I had a great time reading it. I love the entire spoiler alert series by Olivia Dade. I had a great time, and I love the representation. The smut scenes are great. The communication is really good. I loved it. The third act breakups make sense, and you know I don't like a third act breakup at all. But these made sense for the characters, for their development, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. So yeah, I gave it a 4.5. Had a great time reading it. So the next, I read the third and final book in that series, which is Shipwrecked. and I love this one more than book 2. I'll give like a 4.5, and it was just really good. I love that both the main characters were fat and plus size. I love that. Ooh, the smut scenes in this one were, I think, were they better than book 1's? Maybe actually, I don't know. But I really enjoyed this book. I had a great time reading this book, and I will probably read more from Olivia Day because I really enjoyed this series. I really enjoyed this series. Next, I read Love is a Revolution by Renee Watson, and this is a great YA romance. If anybody's looking for some, I would put this in the same categories as Love Radio and Honey and Spice, but also something like, what is it called? One of Us by Nick Stone. All of Us by Nick Stone. Something like that. I will put those all in like the same category with this one. I really enjoyed this book. It was a great time, and I loved the exploration of young adults about to finish high school, finding themselves and not knowing what they want to do with their lives. I love that type of stuff in YA books, and that this had all of that. So next I had Forget Me Not by Julie Soto, and I really enjoyed this one. I was nervous I wasn't because this is quite popular, and sometimes I don't vibe with the popular romances. I'm like, the call is coming from inside the house. Y'all think this girl is good? Y'all think this guy is good? We need to look at your dating history. But I really enjoyed this, and I really enjoyed the guy and the girl. I love that at the end, she's the one groveling. Ooh, I love it, because sometimes in romance books, the female character is the worst character, yet she doesn't grovel as much or at all like the male main character does. But in this one, and I love to see it. I love to see it. This was like a 4.5 in my opinion. It was so good. Next, I have Heartstrings by Ivy Fairbanks. This is book 2. It was an arc that I received, and it was so good. It was so good. It was 5 stars. It was book 2 in the series, and there was no third act breakup. There was so much communication. It was a submissive man and a more dominant woman. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. If you want to see my thoughts on it, I have a video going through my NetGalley videos. Top tier. It was so good. It was so good. Next, I have Morbidly Yours, which is book 1 in the series. These two, in my opinion, are on the same level. I think that's a great thing to have, is your books either get better or they stay the same if they're good already. And these books were good already. And I just love the characters in both of these books so much that I couldn't choose which one I liked better. But they're both 4.5 to 5 stars. Like, they're both amazing books. I just didn't know which one to put first or second, but they were both amazing. Last 3 books, which are definite 5 stars. First, we have The God in the Gumiho, and this was amazing. I loved it. I need book 2 now because I'm hoping it stays a duology. But the way this ended, I need them to be together. It was a great time. I lived this book. I love this book. And I don't ever have that many 5-star fairy loots. And if I do, those are usually the only ones that I keep. And this one was really good. Next, I have another fairy loot, Long Live Evil. I think I'm in the minority of saying that they like this book, but I really like this book. I had a great time reading this book, and I'm so upset that book 2 isn't coming out till 2026. And what's even better is that the Fairy Loot edition had extra content in the back, and it was letters. If you know what happens to one of the main characters, something happens to him, and there's letters that he wrote to someone. Ooh, that just made me even more like, I need the next one. So this was top tier. And last but not least, I have Hollow Fires by Samira Ahmed. And this book, if you want to watch me crying to this book, watch my reading vlogs. That's like 2 videos behind this one. I cried. I had a existential crisis. Like, there was so much going on with me reading this book, and I loved it so much. I need to read more from this author. Hopefully she has more. top tier. Top tier. Top tier. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Those were all of the books that I read in the month of May, and I hope that you got some recommendations from this. If I give any of them a bad rating, don't let that persuade you to not read them. We all have our own minds and our own taste. Some of the books that I DNF'd could be your 5-star. Some of the books that are my 5-star could be the ones that you DNF. So just keep that in mind. But also, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing, scrumdiddly-umptious, good, amazing, great reading day. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.